Come with me, my friend, to the basement again, to my miniature world of trains.
Hi, welcome back to my workbench. Well, today I've decided that what I really need for my big icing platform on the railroad is I need to light it up. One of my goals in my railroad, and this might be one that you might consider, is that I really like the aura, the glow of the city. When I used to come back from college, I'd come over a hill and Kansas City would be laid out in the valley in front of me, the river valley, and all lit up and the sky kind of just glowing with this nice ambiance. And it was always very impressive to me to see that look as I came over that hill. So I want the same kind of look in my railroad. I think the buildings, the street lights, yard lights, everything need to provide enough ambient light that you can see, because inside the city, when it's all lit up, you really can see everything that's going on. So one of my things was that I liked light posts. And the first thing I started off with, and these really are good posts, are the ones from Woodland Scenics. These posts come, and I'll pull this one up here so you can see it a little better. They come and they're already pretty tall. Do it this way, big old T-square. This light sets at about 5 inches, so 5 times 4 sets about 20 feet up in the air. And that's a pretty good height. They do provide these additionals, and those will allow it to go up another, give or take 12 feet, 11, 12 feet, something like that. So you can get it up into the 30-foot range if you really want to. These posts really work well, and I really like them. I have them all over my yard where I'm switching to light up some of the tracks there. I will say that the only thing that I think that is really kind of a drawback on these is the way they're manufactured. Woodland Scenic, painted the bottom of the reflectors with a white paint, which you would think would reflect, but actually what it does is it restricts the LED. So I would always tell my students I literally take this, and on this bottom part of this reflector here, I literally scrape this white paint off. And actually you can control the light very, very well by how much you take off. If you just take a little bit or you take it in one area, you can actually direct the light, and it becomes a directional control for your lighting on your railroad. So really, these are extremely useful, and like I say, I must have 20 or 30 of these already on the layout. So they're very good lights, and I really do believe in them, but I wanted more light. Sometimes you just want floodlight. You want a lot of it. And that's what I want to do with this icing platform scene. I wanted to throw a lot more light. So what I did was I came into SketchUp and I drew the poles. I have two halves of my pole here. These poles are going at 20, about 30 feet tall. My light is setting at about 28 feet, I believe. Here's the two halves of my cross arm, and then this is the top that goes on here. That's what the two halves glued together and the top not attached. And now I have holes then all the way through, because in my prints, I printed this with a half round on each half so that I would have a way to pass the wires through. I always use clamps to hold this 3D printing together. Then I have the cross arm, which is glued on, and now that's on really solidly. But that's going to be the point of the next video, is I'm going to talk about how to get the wire through. Once this is made up, there we go, that's the lampshade you can see there. And then over here is it all painted brown, and I've got the brace painted a little dull silver, and then of course the light already attached. So that's my lights, and they really do throw a lot more light. Keep in mind that also gives you some options. You have a very concentrated light and a very low light level. If you leave the Woodland Scenics lights as they are, you can brighten them up and make them cover a little bit more, or you can go to buying the Chinese supplied LEDs that I use. They come usually 10 or 12 to a package. These are very good. They have about a 6-inch lead on them, and that's the subject of my next video, because obviously 6 inches does not get me through this pole. I need some more, so I'm going to show you how I add to it, and then especially how we get the wire from here down through once the pole is all put together. So secrets coming, stay tuned. In the meantime, go out to your railroad room and let your trains put a smile on your face.